Start doing this today and your business will boom. My name is CF Hutter, and if your business buys Bitcoin, you can call me Chauncey. About 3 decades ago, I attended a seminar. How to make $4,000 a day sitting at your kitchen table in your underwear. Actually was the title. It came from a book. A little inside joke with my wife. When she sees me, even today, I'll be working from home and I'll be sending something out and I'll be making sales, and I never took a shower, and I just kind of got up and sat in the chair, and yes, I was in my underwear, and yes, I can still make money in my underwear making sales decades later, and only people that know that are my wife and I, and that's side tangent. Anyway, I heard this guy speak, and he was telling us about his business and how they did what they did. My armpits started to sweat like Niagara Falls. I mean, I was like getting wet. And I was so excited. I was like, well, so he said, what are you excited about? The guy up there is saying to do, and this was, by the way, it was a direct mail business. This is before the internet. Everything that applies in direct mail applies to the internet too. So anyway, but this is just before you could do stuff on websites. Literally, I'd write an ad and place the ad in a trade journal or mail a sales letter. People would read it, they would call a number, and then they would order. There was no online order forms. I mean, for you young people, I know it's crazy. But you had to be pretty good if you could do all that, and people would write you a check and mail it, or write down a credit card and put it in a form and send it back to you, and you'd open up the mail a couple days later and you made a sale. You had to be good. Okay, you had to be good at doing what you did for somebody to part with their money and not being able to go online and check you out and all that stuff. All right? So he is standing there in the seminar saying, poor grammar skills was a good thing. That's good to know. Giving a printer a bunch of words on a piece of paper was actually an easy thing. Whether it was a book or anything, it's not this big, crazy idea. Taking out a Radio Shack recorder and pushing record on your dining room table works. Not complicated. You do not need to overcomplicate this business. So someone like myself who is not a good student, I was not a good student back then. I've become, as an adult, I've become to love education because I educate myself on topics that I enjoy. But back in middle school, high school, growing up, college, I did not study much. And I didn't have very good skills when it comes to writing and grammar. And this gentleman standing up in this seminar is saying, you actually, if you are really good at English or really good at writing, you probably will be bad in this business. I'm like, what? And I learned that if I could just write like I talk like a regular communication and learn the skill of salesmanship in print, I could have a business. And as Les Brown, you may not know him, he's a famous motivational speaker, one of my favorites from back in the day. Les Brown said, it's possible. You can achieve whatever you want, but it's possible. And I could hear Les Brown in my head as I'm listening to this guy going, it's possible. I actually believe that I could do this. I can start a business. I could sell information. I actually believed. Here's what most people don't run in a business. Most entrepreneurs don't believe what they are supposed to be able to do, that they actually can do it. They believe other people can do it. They believe that person, oh, they're smart, they're experienced, or they're this. They don't believe they can do it. And it gave me a tremendous amount of belief that I could do what this gentleman was saying, and I could do it, and I believed it. Look, if you don't believe in yourself, find somebody else who does. Somebody else will believe in you and step in for you until you can believe in yourself. Somebody will stand on their belief about you. It's your mom, your dad, your brother, your friend, your pastor. Somebody will believe for you if you can't believe. It might take you a minute to get up and move in the right direction and start going in there. And that's good. It's no problem with that if that's what it takes. But you will eventually need to believe for yourself. But in the meantime, ask others to believe for you. Okay? By the way, you know the most recent time when my armpits started to sweat and just like Niagara Falls all over again? Recently, that was when I was first told about Bitcoin. And Bitcoin, and I could hear, and it wasn't just initially, I spent time, hours. I committed to 4 hours a day. This is about 7 years ago. I committed to 4 hours a day to learn this thing that I didn't understand. But the more I heard, the more I would sweat and I would get all chill bumps. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is off the chart. I can't believe this is. And so I check this out, check this out. And I would, as the more I learned about the truth, the more I would sweat. Well, I'm telling you, Bitcoin is the real deal. I am choosing to spend my time telling other business owners and other entrepreneurs that Bitcoin is a really good option for you. And so I've made some resources available, but there's other resources out there as well. Truthfully, right now, it is Bitcoin time.